Shields here for Kalkine TV, welcoming you all to another podcast edition, this time of Executive Corner Expert Talks. Today we're narrowing in on a crucial industry, wastewater infrastructure management. Now, making assessments of which sewer or stormwater pipe needs to be repaired and when can be a challenging task for water authorities. But thankfully, one company is well positioned in the market and doing some great work through its AI-powered cloud computing platform. I'm talking, of course, about VAPAR. And joining us once again today is Amanda Sequeira, the CEO and co-founder. Welcome to the show, Amanda. It's great to have you back on.
Thanks, Holly. Great to be here. Good to chat again.
Yep, thanks for joining us. Now, I understand that VAPAR has come quite a long way in revolutionizing the way that pipes are managed since its inception in 2018. What have been your key strategies throughout this journey?
Yeah, it's been a while, eh? It's almost 4 years now. So I think from inception, I guess in 2018 to now, our strategy has really just been focus on the customers. Just stay really close to your customers. They know what is the pain point, but then there's also an element of, if we want to revolutionize the way that we're doing a certain activity, we also need to kind of have more of a vision as well. So it's balancing customer feedback and driving them towards a vision that means there's a better outcome for them. So like that old kind of Henry Ford quote of, if I'd asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of interplay between following customer feedback and moving forward with a vision, a product vision, and a solution vision that you have.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine so. And it's obviously about balance is very important there for you. And has that vision that you speak of, has that been consistent throughout those 4 years, or has it sort of slightly shifted as you've seen the industry change with its needs?
I think core to it hasn't shifted, but the way that we speak about it and look at it is slightly different as we have progressed and evolved the business, as we've brought new people on. They've brought in really great ideas and different ways of thinking. Because fundamentally, the problem that we're solving is a data management problem, and when you've got a data management problem, there's a lot of things that are at risk, like miscommunications or double work and things like that. So I think the vision for what we're doing is revolutionary in using AI and cloud computing and cloud storage for our industry. But how people interact with that has evolved over time. So yeah, it's been consistently inconsistent, but in a good way. It's kind of evolved into a much better product.
Well, that is really good to hear, I think. And it's great that you've sort of remained steadfast with your vision, but you have, of course, evolved with the technology and progressed as well in the space. So that is excellent to hear. Now, I understand that, VAPAR actively offers services to, as you mentioned, your clients, and they are, from a wide range of different geographies. So naturally, I can imagine that these clients have different objectives as well and different needs when it comes to infrastructure management. So how do you manage to cater to all these diverse needs?
It's a difficult thing to do, but I think what we've done historically is just focus on one thing and try and execute on that really well. Because as a new business, when people come to you with ideas and people come to you with opportunities, it can be really tempting to take a side path or do something a little bit different to your core. But I think being really strict on what your purpose is and what you're there to do, and at sometimes saying no to opportunities can really be to your benefit. So what we did in the beginning was we just focused on one customer segment, and then we worked on that. We did really well there, and then we used that to kind of leverage the next customer segment and so on and so forth. So I think that meant that a lean team like ours has the space and the focus, and then as you grow and you bring on additional team members to help with the growing customer base, then you've got a really strong kind of base to increase the services that you offer.
Right, I can imagine so. It's great to hear that you've been building and accumulating with that experience of different customer base. It's always, I think, very important there. And, I understand that a key problem nowadays is aging infrastructure. It's obviously a growing concern to, I'm sure, many water authorities and councils in many geographies. Has VAPAR been able to tap into this opportunity?
Oh, I mean, big time. I think especially in like different markets, I think there's different needs in different markets. That, say, as an example, in Australia, we've, relatively speaking, our infrastructure is aging, but it's not as aged as, say, other parts of the world that where pipes were installed a lot earlier. So, UK as an example, where we've got a presence, the pipes here are hundreds of years old, whereas a lot of the pipes in Australia were installed in the kind of 50s, 60s, 70s as the oldest, and there's some in, like, say, Sydney that are much older than that, but the majority of them kind of went in that period. So we're certainly at the cusp of where we anticipate those pipes that were installed will start to degrade more and more. They're kind of past that curve, and they're accelerating to degradation. And so it's really easy kind of just to draw that graph for people and say, if we don't do something proactively here, you're going to have a real mess in your hands in a couple of years. And I think that's part of the messaging, but as well as kind of understanding the overall problem.
Absolutely. And, I can imagine the scale too is, quite large. The issue is geographically wide. And so it looks like you've got your work cut out for you there. Yeah, it is. There's a lot to tackle in this space, and it's one of the, again, coming back to the focus and the niche. Like, we've just focused on, for that reason, just focused on sewer and drainage pipes because it's just such a large scale. Like, so Sydney Water owns all of the sewer and drainage, most of the drainage, but they own 24 or 25,000 kilometers of sewers, and that's just one city, right? So, like, there's lots of cities around the world, so it's a lot of pipe. Absolutely, it's a massive scale you're operating with there as well. And if you don't mind sharing, do you have any plans to add further technological innovations to the VAPAR platform?
Yeah, so what we're doing now is basically analysing and managing the data from underground pipes. But we do that in a kind of post inspection phase. So once the inspection has already been carried out on your infrastructure, that's where you kind of get involved and experience our platform and our product. What we're working on now is kind of moving towards the during inspection and the pre-inspection phase, just so that we've got a kind of streamlined end-to-end product experience and solution that really brings about that efficiency that I think everyone in the industry is looking for.
And is that something that's going to take us sort of a while for you to get to that end goal, or is it something that's very much in the process of developing?
Yeah, I think it's always, everything that we do is in the process of developing. I think we're never gonna be perfect or happy with what we do, but we'll always be improving. But we certainly have started that process in terms of kind of like translating what we're doing across the same workflow into more pre-inspection stuff. So yeah, that's definitely started.
Yeah, that is a very exciting space as well to be in, and it sounds like you've definitely landed yourself in a very lucrative position in the market, so to speak.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. I think there's. It also opens up some additional customer segments for us. But yeah, it does mean that the solution is just creating greater value for our customers, which is the main thing that everyone's in business for, is just to create that value. So the more that we can do that, I guess the more our customers are happy.
Excellent. Yeah, very well said. Could not agree more with you there. And are you looking at all expanding your geographies and your clientele at all in the near future?
Yeah. So we are looking. So we've got like an office presence in Australia and the UK. We do serve customers in both those markets in addition to New Zealand. Later on this year, we'll be looking more closely at the US market. It's a massive market. It's a really exciting market.
Absolutely.
For us. So yeah, using the UK as a base, we're going to be doing some kind of exploratory missions to figure out more about how the US market works, because yeah, it's super exciting, but it's pretty big.
No doubt at all. That would be a very exciting venture for you there. And we definitely look forward to seeing your potential expansion that's on the horizon for you. But apart from that, thanks very much for joining us today. It's been really great to touch base with you again and hear insights today, Amanda.
Thanks so much for having me, Holly. Enjoyed it.
Thanks for joining us on Executive Corner Expert Talks. Thanks for your time as well, viewers. If you just joined us, that was Amanda Sequeira, the CEO and co-founder of VAPAR. As we say here, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.